Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
So you're keeping good?
Yeah. Things are going well.
Okay, so what were we discussing last session?
It's the performance appraisal.
Okay, any assignment?
Yes, sir.
Who will present?
I will request sir ki please focus as like a practical HR manager so that tomorrow if they are willing to go because they are very near to complete, so they should be able to take the practical job rather than just bookish knowledge.
Right, sir.
And still they are not working hard. What I realize that they are not going beyond the limit. They are just passing the time. अब क्लास किया चलो काम खत्म, उसके बाद उनका क्या है वो जुनून देखने को नहीं मिलता है. तो दिस इज मैंने नॉट अ हेल्दी कंडीशन. तो जिम्मेदारी आपके ऊपर ज्यादा आती है, इनके ऊपर कम आती है, राइट. बट एवरीबडी हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ देयर ओन. आप सोचो कि आपको जुनून चाहिए, जुनून नहीं दिखता आप लोगों में. और जब तक जुनून नहीं आएगा आप यू आर एन एवरेज पर्सन, यू विल नेवर बी सक्सेसफुल इन योर लाइफ. रोटी दाल कपड़ा मकान मिल जाएगा, बट जो एक बहुत बड़ी सक्सेस चाहिए, बहुत ऊंचाई चाहिए, वो नहीं मिलेगी. तो आई विल रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज गो बियॉन्ड द लिमिट्स. 50 चीजें हैं अभी हजार में करने को, तो वो सब आप देखो. एंड कॉम्पिटेंट फैकल्टी इज देयर, हार्दिक सर इज देयर. आस्क 1000 क्वेश्चन. आप लोग कभी कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पूछते हो. अच्छा मोनोटोनस कि वो आते हैं पूछते हैं कुछ काम हुआ है, हाँ हुआ है, ठीक है प्रेजेंट करो, काम खत्म. You should bombard it. उनके आपके पास इतने क्वेश्चन होने चाहिए कि वो परेशान होकर मुझसे बोलेंगे सर ये क्लास तो बहुत परेशान करता है मुझे, 50 क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं ये. वो जुनून लेके आओ. पागलपन की हद तक होता है ना कि एक आदमी को सीखने की ललक होती है, तो वो जुनून नहीं दिखता आप लोगों में. और आई डोंट नो व्हाई यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग योरसेल्फ फॉर बिकमिंग एन एवरेज पर्सन, राइट. So I'm sorry for these hard words, but these are the hard reality of you guys. तो थोड़ा अपने आप को चेंज करो. कुछ बड़ा बनना है तो जुनून पैदा करना पड़ेगा. हार्दिक सर प्लीज कंटिन्यू. आई एम सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट.
No, it's okay, sir. It's okay. There is nothing called interruption. Boosters are required. Haji. So what was the assignment, by the way?
So based on balance scorecard, make performance appraisal KPI for an HR executive.
So, you're prepared? Okay. So, will you share?
Sir, I've written it in notebook.
But then somehow you will have to share it, na? Maybe उसका एक फोटो लेके उसको एक स्लाइड में डाल के शेयर कर सकते हैं. Yes, Vanshika, have you done?
Sir, I didn't understand the assignment. I tried doing it.
You're telling today after the week has passed. Yeah, Tripti?
No, sir.
You haven't done. Garvita, you can take a photo, put it on group. I'll share it and then you can explain.
I've written it in rough format.
Okay, so by any means will you be able to explain?
Sir, I can tell. I've written 4 to 5 points in each 4 levels of balance scorecard, like HR KPIs for financial perspective, HR KPI for employees and candidates, for internal company processes and for training and innovation.
Okay, but then what are the KPIs?
For financial perspective, I've written average cost per labor, percentage of labor cost, cost of training per employee, and cost per hire. And for employees and candidates, I have written turnover rate, absenteeism rate, offer acceptance rate, and survey on the level of candidate satisfaction. For internal company processes, I have written onboarding, rate of completion of evaluation processes, percentage of referrals, internal promotion rate. For perspective of training and innovation, I've written course attendance rate, effectiveness of training, skills gap, rate of adoption of IT tools.
Okay. Now, how will you put it in KRA KPI format? You remember we discussed OKRs, objective key result area KPI. Okay, and then how to write it. We discussed, we didn't. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, we did. And I was confused with the format itself.
Okay, format can be any, and ultimately we must understand the concept first.
So you also shared a PDF for 10 workforce retention KPIs for HR executives.
You have shared.
You have shared,
I had shared, right?
right? So it has some formulas for overall retention rate, voluntary turnover rate. So we can apply those formulas and write percentage required for each KPI.
So first and foremost, are we clear about what is KRA and what is KPI? Or still there's some confusion in this? Are we clear about KRA and KPI or still there is some confusion in this? Yes or no? कुछ तो बोलो भाई. समझे
No, sir,
नहीं समझे.
I'm a bit confused.
Confusion where? And if there's a confusion, why there are no questions in between? Why it is class to class? If there's an issue, you can always put up. We are all connected on the group.
Yes, sir.
I know you all are preparing for UPSC, GPSC, CAT, SAT, पता नहीं क्या क्या. But then here also you are investing your time. और यहीं अटेंशन नहीं तो वहां तो क्या करते हो भगवान ही मालिक. Yes, but then what is the confusion, Vanshika? Tell me.
Sir, about how we can put it in the format. I did listen to the lecture that day, but still I have a bit confusion.
So it's about how to put it in the format. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now list at least 3 KRS for an HR manager. If you can write it down in your notebook. Tripti, you also. 3 KRA for HR manager. यस तृप्ति बोलो, फर्स्ट केयर क्या हो सकता है एचआर मैनेजर का?
Sir, I did not write.
वाई? पेन नहीं है?
No, sir, I have pen, but sir,
पेपर नहीं है?
no, sir.
तो बोलो, लिखा नहीं तो बोलो, बिना हथियार के लड़ाई में आ जाएंगे कैसे हो गए? हम क्लास पढ़ने बैठे हैं, पेन पेपर नहीं, नोट पैड नहीं
No, sir, है.
है तो फिर लिखा क्यों नहीं?
Sir, I have written.
You have written?
Yes.
बोलिए.
First could be managing the recruitment and selection process.
Managing recruitment and selection process. Okay.
Providing adequate training and development.
Providing okay. What next?
Regulating performance management, or maybe we can write keeping an eye on performance management. I didn't get a proper word to frame it.
Keeping an eye on
Performance management.
Okay. For a while अभी हम उसको मान लेते हैं कि ये ठीक है. Okay. For an HR manager, the KRA are managing recruitment and selection process, providing adequate training and development, keeping an eye on performance management system. Okay. Now you remember balance scorecard? Yes or no?
Sir, a little bit.
Okay. कितना bit?
I don't remember, sir.
Okay. Garvita, Tripti. We didn't cover it too fast, right? Did we? Yes or no? Did we go too fast? नहीं ना?
Nice, sir, but maybe out of all the topics, I think this was the most difficult for me. That's why I'm having so much difficulty to understand.
Okay. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
ये पढ़ा था ना? We read this, right? So whenever we are setting the business objectives, or whenever we are going for a performance management system, okay, so there are two concepts that we studied. One was management by objective. That is what we are talking about when we are saying KRA and KPI. And then lately, late 90s, 92 से 96 के बीच में, then there was another level to derive that KR and KPI, that instead of going for anything, yeah, just now you have said 3 points: managing recruitment and selection, training and development, and performance management system. Okay, now so when you're choosing this KR and KPI, what could be the baseline? So that baseline came from balance scorecard. So balance scorecard talks about first organizational financials. Now, when you are taking a KRA of managing recruitment and selection, on what basis you have taken? Okay. So ऐसे कौन से पॉइंट हैं जो आपके बिजनेस में इफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से आपको ये एक एरिया ऐसा लगता है कि जिसके ऊपर काम करना पड़ेगा या फोकस का जरूरत है. Okay. So what could be the financial reasons for taking that particular KRA for an HR manager? तो हो सकता है बिजनेस में रिक्रूटमेंट कॉस्ट को लेके कोई पॉइंट हो या एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट को लेके कोई पॉइंट हो, है ना. सो व्हेन वी से एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट, इसमें 2-3 फैक्टर हो सकते हैं. एक हो सकता है एम्प्लॉय का सैलरी, दूसरा हो सकता है उसके ऊपर खर्च करने वाला वेलफेयर का पैसा, यूनिफॉर्म दिया, कैंटीन दिया, शूज दिया, आने जाने का व्यवस्था कर दिया, रहने को गेस्ट हाउस है. ऑल दीज आर आल्सो एक्सपेंसेस ऑन एम्प्लॉइज. Okay, and third is hiring of people. Okay, so if my business KPI, if my business says that the employee cost needs to be optimized, अगर बिजनेस ऐसा बोलता है कि एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट जो है उसको और ऑप्टिमाइजेशन का जरूरत है, either I'm spending too much or I'm spending too less. ओके, या बिजनेस ये बोलता है कि मेरा एम्प्लॉय टर्नओवर बहुत ज्यादा है, लोग आते हैं जाते हैं, या बिजनेस बोलता है कि मेरे को अगले 3 साल में एक्सपांड करना है. ओके, आई वांट टू हैव अ न्यू फैक्ट्री, न्यू बिल्डिंग, न्यू ऑपरेशंस, न्यू लोकेशंस. सो दीज 4-5 पॉइंट्स: एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट, एम्प्लॉय टर्नओवर, बिजनेस एक्सपांशन. ओके, ये 3 या 4 ऐसे फाइनेंशियल पॉइंट्स हो सकते हैं जो बिजनेस बताएगा, है ना. बिजनेस मतलब फ्रॉम द टॉप इट विल कम. ओवरऑल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फाइनेंशियल्स में ये 3 या 4 पॉइंट ऐसे हो सकते हैं जिसके ऊपर शायद कोई डिस्कशन हो रहा हो या डायरेक्ट रीजन, राइट. So if these are the key points in your business statement: optimize employee cost, monitor employee turnover, तीसरा
expansion.
बिजनेस एक्सपांशन. ओके, अगर ऐसे 3 पॉइंट आपके बिजनेस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, बिजनेस KRA है, so in that case how this will come down to HR KRA? आप कैसे रिलेट करोगे इसको?
We have to decrease HR cost per new hire. Like we have to, fill in a position within a short timeline. We have to save cost over there. We have to fulfill a position within a budget. And secondly, we need to decrease the employee turnover.
Correct. So here, fantastic. Here, we will take these KRA provided business is asking us to do. Right. So this is how the balance scorecard approach works. The way of written is same, MBO, management by objective, because this is all smart goals. Okay, but you will take up that goal because it is a business requirement. So first become financials. Now, to make that financial calm, what you need is you need to check your business processes. है ना? So when you say that hiring or recruiting manpower or recruitment and selection of people, what financial impact this is having? To meet those financial requirements, what internal process I will change? है ना? You understanding?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So as Prerna also said, we will say that we want to reduce employee turnaround time. Okay. Or we want to control the attrition. Or we want to reduce the recruitment cost. Okay. Now, what processes you have to change? Perhaps your hiring technique you may have to change. Perhaps the hiring sources you have to alter. Perhaps you have to go from offline to online. Okay. Then comes the third thing, learning and growth. Whosoever is doing all these activities, whether he or she is skilled about it, है ना, उनको ये सब आता है कि नहीं आता? नहीं आता तो सिखाना पड़ेगा. So there is input of training and eventually how it is affecting our customers. So when it comes to HR, customers are other departments. है ना? For HR, all other departments becomes their customers because you are providing services to the organization. You are not selling a product to the market, but you are providing services to the other department. So all other departments becomes your customer. So if there is anything from their end, that is also to be considered. Okay. So this is how this balance scorecard works. So let's come down to our articulation of KRA and KPI. So now the KRA is managing recruitment and selection process, providing adequate training and development, and keeping an eye on performance management process. Okay, ये area होगा जिसके ऊपर काम करना है. Now, how can be the point of measures? KPI या measuring criteria. KPI या measuring criteria. ये काम अच्छा हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, अच्छे से करना है कि नहीं करना है, कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? क्या क्या चीजें देखनी पड़ेगी हमको?
So let's say when we were talking about the decrease in employee turnover as our
Correct.
KRA,
Correct.
then the KPI would be employee turnover rate. If the employee turnover rate, got decreased, then, it was successful. And similarly, if we were supposed to decrease the HR cost per new hire, so we will see what was the total HR cost, which is now happening. So then we will able to see what is the result, which, turned around.
Okay. Now, for the interest of everybody, if you can explain what is employee turnover rate?
basically, whenever an employee joins an organization, so how much time they are spending with the organization, and what is the ratio of them leaving the organization as per the joining ratio.
Okay. Any other word we use for this?
Attrition.
Attrition. Attrition is how many people are leaving the organization, and at what frequency. You can check it month on month, you can check it year on year, whatever periodicity you want, you can keep that periodicity. But it is number of people on day one, number of people on last day. The difference divided by the head count is your attrition. है ना? कितना था अभी कितना रह गया जो चले गए वो डिवाइड बाय कितना था will becomes your total attrition. This we discussed healthy attrition. हमने केस स्टडी डिस्कस किया था XYZ कंसल्टेंसी का. 3200 लोग थे, 200 हायर करने थे, 600 का और प्लान था. रिमेम्बर 500 550 लोग छोड़ के चले गए in an entire year. If you remember in analytics, we discussed this case study. So there we had seen what attrition is, 13% ऐसा कुछ था. And then we discussed whether it is healthy attrition or not. The same Excel was also put up on the group. I don't know if you have seen it. Okay. Then second thing is cost per hire. Cost per hire is what? It is the amount spent to hire someone. किसी आदमी को नौकरी पे रखने के लिए कंपनी कितना पैसा खर्चा कर रही है. That is cost per hire. और क्या हो सकता है?
Increasing the rate of accepting a job offer that we are giving.
Okay. इसको और बेटर कैसे लिख सकते हैं?
Offer acceptance rate.
But that is again, it is something which is not in your hand, right?
Yes, but maybe our hiring processes can be improved so that it is easier for the candidates to understand the position, and successful job acceptance can be there as a result.
I'll say that. Okay, that is turnaround time. See, what we're talking about is how I am going to improve my own processes, right? My own efficiency. कोई कैंडिडेट ऑफर एक्सेप्ट करेगा या नहीं करेगा. अगर ऐसा बहुत सीवियर है, 10 में से 8 लोग ऑफर लेने के बाद भी मना कर देते हैं, then these processes will not help because the factor is external. है ना?
Another process improvement can be in terms of getting good applications, qualified applications, in our advertisement. Whatever way we are posting the job, either it can be Naukri or any other portal. So if we get qualified applications, then automatically other things will be, will happen at a shorter time.
Okay. Now again, that is not in your control. नौकरी या किसी भी जॉब पोर्टल पे कौन एप्लीकेशन डाल रहा है वो तो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है ना?
Right.
Okay, but what is in your control is called hit ratio. Hit ratio is मैंने जितने भी प्रोफाइल शॉर्टलिस्ट किए है ना? एक जॉब पोस्ट किया, जॉब पोस्ट मेरे से जितना पॉसिबल हो उतना स्पेसिफिकली मैंने जॉब पोस्टिंग किया, बट फिर भी 1000 एप्लीकेशंस आ गए. Now out of those 1000 applications, I finalized 10 applications, and that 10 applications I shared with the hiring manager. वो बोले 10 बेकार है, इसमें से एक भी एप्लीकेशन ऐसा नहीं है जो अपने काम का है, which means my hit ratio becomes 0. मैंने कितना CV हायरिंग मैनेजर को दिया, उसमें से कितना शॉर्टलिस्ट हुआ, is called hit ratio. Number of CVs selected versus number of CVs provided. Now this is in your control. You need to have those skills to source or find out which CV is adequate or most appropriate. See, at times you will find people who will have problems with all your providings. Okay. But that is individualistic. Otherwise, when you see your own assessment, when you have your own assessment, you will find that except one or two such people, such hiring managers, all other people are by and large, filtering almost 50-60% of your CVs provided. Generally, 3:1 is an ideal ratio. So if I'm giving 3 CVs, one must get shortlisted. Okay. You can make it as better as possible, and that you learn by way of doing it. So जैसे जैसे करते जाओगे ऐसे ऐसे समझ में आने लगेगा कि इस आदमी को या इस हायरिंग मैनेजर को किस तरह का सीवी पसंद आता है या किस तरह का रिक्वायरमेंट है, या मैं ये चीजें 2-4 पॉइंट अगर ध्यान में रखूंगा या रखूंगी, in that case whatever CV I will provide or I will source, they will be apt or most adequate. ठीक है ना? अभी इसमें if you see the first point, employee turnover rate and attrition, this is an indicator which will tell me how many positions I have to fill in, है ना? मेरा जो ट्रेंड है that on an average 8 to 10% लोग हर साल छोड़ के जाते हैं. Okay, this is from HR analytics. So if I have the trend, this KPI will help me in my recruitment process. This will also help in HR budgeting. कि मुझे अगले साल कितना खर्चा करना पड़ेगा. So if मेरा एट्रिशन रेट 10% है, तो अभी अगर 800 लोग या 1000 लोग काम करते हैं, मतलब मुझे और 100 लोग हायर करने पड़ेंगे. तो उन 100 लोगों को हायर करने में हर आदमी के पीछे कितना खर्चा होगा, that can be my KPI for HR budgeting also. Vanshika, is getting clear now?
Yes, sir.
In case of any confusion, any doubt, if you have anything, be vocal.
Okay.
सिप्ती जी समझ में आ रहा है ना? है? हाँ कि ना?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, और क्या हो सकता है? What else can be done?
In the second point, which is
अच्छा, फर्स्ट में कुछ और, फर्स्ट में है कुछ और for recruitment and selection, anything else, any other point that you think is a measuring point for hiring activities?
Orientation and induction will come in this or the second point.
ओरिएंटेशन शायद इसमें नहीं आएगा.
That as well.
कोई और पॉइंट जो लगता है कि हायरिंग से रिलेटेड हो सकता है? नहीं, एक और केपीआई इसमें हो सकता है इन रिक्रूटमेंट एंड सिलेक्शन, व्हिच आई से इज क्वालिटी ऑफ हायर, है ना? क्वालिटी ऑफ हायर, अगेन दिस इज इन आवर, दिस कैन बी वन ऑफ द केपीआई फॉर एचआर, whether it is HR recruiter or HR manager. क्वालिटी ऑफ हायर मतलब कभी कभी क्या होता है, हम जब किसी एम्प्लॉय को रिक्रूट करते हैं, after 3-4 months either the hiring manager or someone from the business will start saying किसको ले आया यार, है ना, this is not a right candidate, या हायरिंग गलत हो गया, या जब आपने उसको इंटरव्यू किया तब उसका रेटिंग सब में 5 था, and after 3-4 months when you assess at the time of confirmation the rating have come down to 3. तो 6 महीने में एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी से बंदा एवरेज हो गया, है ना? तो या तो कल्चरल फिटमेंट नहीं हो रहा है, प्रोसेस नहीं समझ में आ रहे हैं, या जिस सेक्शन में काम कर रहा है वहां उसके सबऑर्डिनेट, उसके सुपरवाइजर्स, उसके जो पीयर हैं उनके साथ में नहीं जम रहा है, राइट? सो क्वालिटी ऑफ हायर कैन आल्सो बी वन ऑफ द एरिया और वन ऑफ द केपीआई व्हिच एन एचआर मैनेजर कैन हैव. मतलब मैं जिस तरह का बंदा शॉर्टलिस्ट कर रहा हूं वो मेरे एनवायरनमेंट में कल्चरली फिट भी होना चाहिए, है ना, या पोटेंशियल दिखे, या उसके अंदर स्किल इंप्रूव करने का कैपेसिटी होना चाहिए. तो ओवरऑल असेसमेंट द टाइम ऑफ इंटरव्यू, right? So there are some of these areas which can be the measuring criteria for managing recruitment and selection process. Okay, now point number 2, provide adequate training and development. क्या हो सकता है?
Sir, if the employee who was trained is more productive and more good at his job, then the KRA is successful. The quality of his work is
productivity improvement, right? That is what you're saying?
yes, sir.
Can be one KPI. Okay, what else?
Effectiveness of training.
Effectiveness of training. मेजरमेंट कैसे करेंगे उसका? See, when I'm saying measuring criteria or KPIs, they are objectives, है ना? They are numbers. Something that you can count, something that you can measure, something that you can calculate. Productivity improvement, can we calculate this? Is it measurable thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. कैसे?
So through analyzing the work that employer is doing.
तो पहले इतना बना रहा था, अभी इतना बनाने लगा,
Yes, sir.
है ना? एचआर मैनेजर का प्रोडक्टिविटी कैसे देखोगे? लाइन पे कोई काम कर रहा है, असेंबली में है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, वहां तो दिख जाएगा फटाफट. कल 1000 पीस बना रहा था, आज 1100 बना रहा है, तो प्रोडक्टिविटी हैज इम्प्रूव्ड. For HR manager, how will you see the productivity improvement?
How would quality of, like, the points that were mentioned in the managing and selection process. So let's say the hiring which was done by some HR manager, that person has had good quality of employees, then that can be one of the point, or we have done it in a budget, specific budget. We have saved cost for the company. We have done, earlier we used to do 2 hirings in a month. Now we are doing 6 in a month. So that can be a measurement.
तो वो सब ऊपर आ गया ना. टर्न अराउंड टाइम, कितने टाइम में पोजीशन क्लोज कर रहे हैं. तो अगर पहले 30 दिन लगता है, 15 दिन लगता है, राइट. सो व्हाट यू सेइंग इज करेक्ट. दीज ऑल कैन बी द प्रोडक्टिविटी इंप्रूवमेंट मेजरिंग या मेजरेबल पॉइंट फॉर एन एचआर मैनेजर. बट इस केस में रिपीट होगा ना 2 जगह. सेम चीज ऊपर हायरिंग में भी ले रहे हैं, सेम चीज हम यहाँ ट्रेनिंग में भी देख रहे हैं. और क्या हो सकता है? Garvita said something, effectiveness or something.
Effectiveness of training.
हाँ, कैसे मेजर करेंगे?
सर ट्रेनर्स का टेस्ट लेकर, ट्रेनिंग से पहले और ट्रेनिंग के बाद.
ट्रेनर का?
हाँ,
मतलब जो पढ़ा रहा है उसका टेस्ट लोगे?
सॉरी, ट्रेनिंग का.
ओके, देन
सर ट्रेनिंग से पहले और ट्रेनिंग के बाद तो हमें पता चलेगा कितनी इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है.
करेक्ट. और क्या कर सकते हैं? What can be the other criteria?
कोर्स अटेंडेंस रेट.
मतलब
कितने ट्रेनीज ने ज्वाइन किया है ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम.
ओके.
Application of knowledge that they have gained from the training.
I think effectiveness of training is something what you are saying, na? So when we say effectiveness, there are 3-4 areas. One area is transfer of knowledge. वो ये टेस्ट से मालूम पड़ेगा, प्री टेस्ट एंड पोस्ट टेस्ट. ट्रेनिंग के पहले आपने उनको सवाल पूछे, ट्रेनिंग हुआ, उसके बाद में सवाल पूछा. द डिफरेंस ऑफ द स्कोर इज द ट्रांसफर ऑफ नॉलेज, है ना. देन आफ्टर सम टाइम you again check either by way of same test or by discussing their managers or superiors about change in behavior, है ना. वो ट्रेनिंग करने के बाद में उसमें कुछ फर्क है क्या, उसका स्किल में फर्क पड़ा, उसका गलती करने का रेट कम हो गया, जल्दी काम कर लेता है, झगड़ा वगड़ा नहीं करते हैं, right? So any observation or observable change will again help you to know the effectiveness of training, है ना. Your overall organizational culture will change. एकदम सुस्त डिपार्टमेंट था, आपने उसको time and again you educated them on importance of teamwork, importance of efficiency, quality of work, डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटीज. इसके ऊपर आप बार बार लोगों को आप इनपुट देते रहेंगे, ट्रेन करते रहेंगे. यू विल फाइंड दैट ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, द एंटायर डिपार्टमेंट वुड बी फंक्शनिंग इन ए डिफरेंट वे. दैट इज कॉल्ड इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ ट्रेनिंग. तो कुछ चीजें सब्जेक्टिव है, कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव है. जहां ऑब्जेक्टिव है वहां आप तुरंत मेजर कर सकते हैं, जहां सब्जेक्टिव है वहां और ऑब्जर्वेशन बेस्ड असेसमेंट हो सकता है. ओके, व्हाट एल्स? और क्या?
Sir, feedback from the supervisor.
वो इफेक्टिवनेस में आ जाएगा ना.
Okay.
नहीं? और you want to say something else?
No, sir, that only.
Feedback from supervisor will be about effectiveness of training. कि भाई ये बंदे ने सीखा कि नहीं सीखा, अच्छा कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. that you will take from the superior, from the peers, right? Okay.
Sir,
Another
employee
is,
satisfaction.
sorry,
Employee satisfaction.
employee satisfaction training से कैसे आएगा?
Sir, वो training पाके मतलब करके वो satisfied है या नहीं इसमें improvement हुई है?
Sorry.
Sir, training करके वो employee satisfied है या नहीं?
हाँ, बट ट्रेनिंग का एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फेक्शन से सीधा कोई संबंध नहीं है ना? एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फेक्शन इज ओवरऑल सब्जेक्टिव थिंग.
Employee engagement will come into effectiveness again. Just a question.
Employee engagement, no, to measure employee engagement, training can be one point. Okay, मतलब एक कोई भी एम्प्लॉय आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इंगेज्ड है, उसको मेजर करने के लिए नंबर ऑफ ट्रेनिंग्स अटेंडेड या प्रोवाइडेड कैन बी वन KPI, but it cannot be other way around. That what is the change in engagement scale because of training, that I think may not be a very relative KPI. Training is connected to skill, training is connected to efficiency, training is connected to productivity, right? Training is connected to your own willingness to learn. So training man days, हमने कितना man days मतलब 8 घंटा, one man day is 8 hours. Okay, so training man days या man hours.
Basically, what I meant is when we provide a quality training, then it enhances employee retention and turnover ratio is also reduced.
Correct. So that's one thing. For engagement, to assess the engagement or employee satisfaction, training can be one KPI. But for training के लिए engagement cannot be a KPI.
It cannot come under training, you're saying. It will be other way around.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be other way around. Employee satisfaction can be one KRA, and there, quality of training can be one KPI to measure the satisfaction of employee or engagement of employee. How organization is spending on training, that can be one question under engagement. Okay, but how engaged you are cannot be a question relative to training. Right? So training man days, man hours. When I say effectiveness of assessment, there can be coverage of employees, or we'll say penetration of training. Okay, so these can be the point to measure about training deliverance. ट्रेनिंग मैंडेज मतलब हमने साल में कितना घंटा या कितने दिन का ट्रेनिंग लोगों को दिया. कवरेज ऑफ एम्प्लॉय और पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ ट्रेनिंग, इसका मतलब है कितने % लोगों को मैंने कवर किया, है ना? 1000 में से कितने लोग थे जिन्होंने ये साल ट्रेनिंग अटेंड किया, कितने लोग थे जिन्होंने 1 दिन किया, 2 दिन किया, 3 दिन किया, 5 दिन किया, स्किल पे किया, फंक्शनल पे किया, बिहेवियरल पे किया, व्हाटएवर. सो वेरियस permutations, combinations, but they all talk about your efforts on training, right? Now third, any other point in training?
Sir, if KRA is providing adequate training and development, KPI is like how we're measuring it, right? So can taking feedback be a measuring criteria?
Taking feedback, how will you measure this? Because this feedback will be here also at effectiveness of training.
No, basically, if the feedback is good from the employees, we have given them a training. They're
Correct.
saying that it is helpful, so
Right.
then
So
it can be measured, right?
Quality of facilitator.
Yeah, it will be basically feedback will be helpful in telling how
the faculty
good
was,
the,
how the
yeah,
program was. है ना? So
and
quality of facilitator.
how how it is going to help them out. Basically, if it is a as you have mentioned, quality facilitator, then obviously they're going to learn in a better way, and implementation will be also
Correct.
better.
Okay, so it is about program or current or then quality of facilitator program. It can be measured through feedback ratings. है ना? So if my feedback is 5-scale feedback, then if it is 4 and above, my program is good. Yeah, my facilitator was good. So feedback rating can be one of the KPI. आप कॉलेज में जाते हो, स्कूल में पढ़ते हो, तो वहां पे आपका इफेक्टिवनेस को मेजर करने के लिए क्या क्या हो सकता है? रिजल्ट हो सकता है, टाइम टेबल हो सकता है, टीचर प्रोफेसर कैसे हैं ये हो सकता है, उन्होंने पढ़ाने के बाद में तुमने उनके बारे में क्या बोला ये हो सकता है. क्या फालतू है यार, कौन इनका क्लास अटेंड करे? ऐसा जब भी ऐसा मैसेज आता होगा शनिवार को शाम को, तो ऐसा लगता है हार्दिक सर का क्लास है, कौन अटेंड करेगा? सो देन इट इज ऑल मेजरमेंट क्राइटेरिया. नेक्स्ट टाइम से नीरज सर मना कर देंगे, सब आप रहने दो, बच्चों को वैसे ही मजा नहीं आता है. राइट? So these are the elements to measure training and development. Okay. And let's come to point number 3. Keeping an eye on performance management. इसमें क्या हो सकता है?
Revenue growth of the organization, since the productivity, if the performance is good, then revenue will increase.
No. It is the other way. If the business says that I want to grow the revenue by 10%, how HR will contribute? I am not earning. HR is a cost center, not a profit center. HR is not selling anything to generate revenue, but HR has to support overall revenue growth. है ना? तो अगर बिजनेस बोलता है कि मुझे अपना रेवेन्यू या प्रॉफिट 10% इंक्रीज करना है, तो उस केस में एचआर कैसे सपोर्ट करेगा उस 10% को मीट करने के लिए? तो एचआर जाके कुछ सामान तो बेचता नहीं है ना? HR cannot generate revenue, but HR can think on, number 1, how to optimize its own operational cost. Number 2, how it can support business in improving efficiency and productivity. हम सीधा 10% रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ नहीं कर सकते, है ना? ओनली प्रोडक्शन इज अ डिपार्टमेंट दैट विल टेल कि भाई हम इतना ज्यादा माल बना देंगे जिससे आपका 10% रेवेन्यू बढ़ सकता है ना? लेकिन उसके पीछे सप्लाई चेन है जिसको एडिशनल रॉ मटेरियल लाना पड़ेगा, उसके साथ सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग है जिसको 10% एक्स्ट्रा बेचना पड़ेगा, उसके पीछे एचआर है जिसको ये 10% लोग बना सके ज्यादा, उसके लिए एडिक्वेट ह्यूमन कैपिटल प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा. राइट? सो जो आपका फर्स्ट पॉइंट था, क्वालिटी ऑफ हायर, हिट रेशियो, टर्न अराउंड टाइम, कॉस्ट पर हायर, ऑल दिस फैक्टर विल हेल्प बिजनेस to save on expenses. Right? Saving is earning. So by improving process efficiency, I'll try to reduce my expenses on manpower. I will try to optimize my expenses on welfare. I will try to optimize my expenses on other areas. I will try, or I will work out, or I'll optimize, or I'll enhance the processes so that productivity is improved. Right, Prerna?
Yes. Yes, sir. So ये जो like this third point, in this point basically we have to come up with strategies, right? How
On
we can.
performance management?
Yes, I think
Okay.
as in HR.
Okay, any example?
No, actually, I want to understand if this is what we have to do in this point.
Okay, now see, this is as such is a set process. Performance management is a set process. Okay, so again, इसमें भी TAT हो सकता है. Turnaround time, one of the measuring criteria, that everything is completed on time. Then
The increasing retention rate.
for appraisal,
So as I said, strategies. So maybe matlab, that is my understanding from this point that again the feedback point would be there. If you're giving frequent feedback to the employee, matlab, basically we are taking feedback from the team and then giving it to the employee, then it can help in increasing the performance maybe.
so what you're saying is that how I can change or improve my performance management system, right, Prerna? When you're talking about the strategies.
Yeah, as an HR, what we can do.
Correct. Okay. That is on the process part. But if I have to measure the effectiveness of my own people or my own process, so one thing is turnaround time, which means I have to complete the entire process on time. Okay. How effectively I have done, I can get that by number of people who are really potential. Okay. Then I take this point again further to strategies to develop people. Right. Out of performance management system, whatever is the outcome. So there is one thing is reward and recognition. तो जो अच्छा है आपने उसको एक सेट प्रोसेस के हिसाब से इनाम दे दिया, प्रमोशन कर दिया, इंक्रीमेंट मिल गया, सब कुछ है. बट देन एज ए प्रोसेस हाउ इट इज बेनिफिटिंग द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. So out of this entire process, मैंने कितने ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज ढूंढे जो जिनका पोटेंशियल आगे बढ़ने के लिए है. मैंने ऐसे कितने एम्प्लॉय ढूंढे जो परफॉर्मर नहीं है. आईडीपीज इंडिविजुअल डेवलपमेंट प्लान है ना. आईडीपीज इंडिविजुअल डेवलपमेंट प्लान या पीडीपीज पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट प्लान. ओके. सो कितने लोगों को आईडीपी में एनरोल किया, कितने लोगों को पीडीपी में एनरोल किया, कितने लोगों का रेटिंग ओवरऑल चेंज हुआ. परफॉर्मेंस रेटिंग 3 से 4 गया, 4 से 5 गया, है ना. देयर इज वन अदर कांसेप्ट कॉल्ड असेसमेंट सेंटर. एंड देन हाउ और व्हाट शुड आई डू टू इंप्रूव और डेवलप पीपल. यहां से एक इनपुट, ये जो पॉइंट है ना, स्ट्रेटजीज टू डेवलप पीपल, यहां से एक इनपुट आपको मिलेगा जो कहां कनेक्ट करेगा. यहां से एक इनपुट मिलेगा जो आपको कनेक्ट करेगा आपकी ट्रेनिंग नीड पे. समझे. Performance management system will give you what training needs are there. And when I have to develop people, what all I am required to do as an HR. है ना. किस टॉपिक पे किसको क्या स्किल देना पड़ेगा, किसको क्या बिहेवियरल इश्यूज है, किसके क्या फंक्शनल इश्यूज है, ये कौन सिखा सकता है. So in your training, another point can be developing internal resources. है ना. मैं पढ़ाने के लिए कुछ किसी लोगों को इंटरनल ट्रेनर्स बना सकता हूँ क्या, या कितने लोगों को बनाया, या कितने लोगों को इस तरह से स्किलफुल किया, कितनों को प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, कितनों को आइडेंटिफाई किया. सो योर परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम can have these KPIs, and when we say strategy, it will say how I can improve my system. If my number of non-performers too high, if my number of non-performers are too high, बहुत लोग ऐसे हैं जिसका रेटिंग 2-1 है, इसका मतलब ये है कि my organization is not growing. It cannot grow. It cannot grow. So strategy to develop people or downsize. Okay. Yeah, I'll say replace. तो अगर मेरे पास बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिनका परफॉर्मेंस रेटिंग 3 से कम है, so then either I have to develop those people to go to 3 or above, or if it is not working, I have to quickly replace them. Otherwise, my overall business requirement will not fulfill. है ना. क्रिकेट के गेम में 20-20 ओवर में 20 ओवर में आपको एक जो टारगेट है 200 रन का पूरा करना है. कंसिस्टेंटली आप देख रहे हो कि एक बंदा है जो किसी भी मैच में ना अच्छा खेल रहा है, ना अच्छा बॉलिंग करता है, ना फील्डिंग ठीक से करता है. 2 बार 3 बार 4 बार आप उसको एक सीरीज में चांस देंगे, बट नेक्स्ट सीरीज में आप उसको बिठा देंगे. यू विल रिप्लेस हिम विद अ बेटर प्लेयर. होता है ना. इन द क्लास, इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग गुड, in a college, if you're not doing good, your professor does not pay attention to you. है ना. They always pay attention to the bright children, sorry. तो जो होशियार है, जो आंसर देता है, प्रोफेसर का अटेंशन भी उनकी तरफ ज्यादा रहता है. Same thing is in the business also. So if you are not performing, either you need to be developed or you need to be replaced. कॉलेज में replace का possibility नहीं है, develop करने का कोशिश करते हैं, लेकिन बच्चे खुद नहीं पढ़ते, तो then they leave them, and then eventually in the reward and recognition, when the performance is assessed, you are not rewarded, fail हो जाएंगे, KT लग जाएगा, backlog आ जाएगा, पता है ना सर? So these are the areas or performing measurement criteria, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Vanshika, it is clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can an HR executive will also have the same KR and KPI? Can an HR executive have the same KR and KPI?
No, it will be on a lower side. These are the major points, I would say. The contribution would be there, but they won't be, directly relating to all the points.
Okay, so if what could be the KPI for? I'll delete this column as well. What could be the KPI for HR executive? If this is for HR manager, what could be for HR executives?
An executive is the one who conducts the initial round of interview. Screening is done by them, the initial screening. So that is the first point.
How will you measure? इसमें से कौन से KPI है जो उसके KPI में जा सकते हैं?
Quality of hire, because screening is done by the executive.
Okay.
So if good applications are being submitted to the HR manager, so that can be a point.
I'll say hit ratio can be one area because number of CV provided out of number of CV shortlisted, है ना?
Right.
Okay. और क्या हो सकता है? Now manager role is tactical role ना, उसमें थोड़ा operation भी है, थोड़ा strategy भी है. But for an executive, it is purely operational, less of strategy. तो हायरिंग में बाकी कहाँ उसको आप उसका इफेक्टिवनेस को मेजर कर सकते हैं और किस चीज से कर सकते हैं? ऐसा और क्या काम है जो आप उसको उसके मेजरमेंट क्राइटेरिया में डाल सकते हो? हिट रेशियो एज प्रेरणा सेट कि भाई वो कितना सीवी शॉर्टलिस्ट करके दे रहा है, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. तो हिट रेशियो इज वन एरिया वेयर एग्जीक्यूटिव इज वर्किंग. व्हाट एल्स?
The cost per hire.
कॉस्ट पर हायर में उसको कैसे मेजर करेंगे फॉर एन एग्जीक्यूटिव?
If the application is that the executive has provided the candidate shortlisted is coming in a much low budget with the required performance or expectations, so that can be one of the point, as Garvita said, just supporting the statement.
Okay. So I'll say this as change over cost. Put this here also. Change over cost. मतलब आप उसको कितना हाइक देके ले रहे हो, है ना? और आपका जो रिप्लेसमेंट है वो रिप्लेसमेंट कॉम्पिटिटिव है. मतलब अगर कोई आदमी अभी 10 लाख रुपए की सैलरी पे काम कर रहा है, आपने उसको रिप्लेस किया, उसने रिजाइन कर दिया, आपने उसको रिप्लेस किया, तो आपने जब रिप्लेस किया तब आपने ऐसे कैंडिडेट सोर्स किए जिनका सैलरी 10 लाख से कम है और दे आर इक्वली कॉम्पिटिटिव. करेक्ट? यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? समझ में आ रहा है? सो योर सोर्सिंग, again, quality of hire in his case can be one KPI, where I'll say in terms of CTC or skills, pre-hire. So I am exploring possibilities or giving CVs of people who are less in the current salary. Okay. दूसरा, उनको मैं कम % इंक्रीज देके भी ऑनबोर्ड करा सकता हूं, है ना? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. So for an executive, more is about efficiency, how fast, how quickly, how qualitatively he is providing the candidates, है ना? उसके केस में भी टैट एप्लीकेबल होगा. टर्न अराउंड टाइम टू क्लोज द पोजीशन, राइट? मेकिंग सेंस? समझ में भी आ रहा है? Okay. So for other two, I'm not going in detail for their executives KPI, but I'm leaving it to you that you will make the KPI for these two KRA for an HR executive. Okay. At the same time, we will also complete this HR budgeting wala portion for both, for manager also and for executive also. Okay. Any doubt, any question? नहीं ना? ओके, कोई सवाल है भाई यहां तक? नहीं, कोई बोर नहीं हो रहा ना? वो भी रहे सर तो क्या करें, बैठना तो पड़ेगा ही। चलो, अभी we have got KRA. We find out what are the criteria to measure, है ना? इस KRA को मॉनिटर करने के लिए ऐसे कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स हैं जिसका हमको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा। सिलेक्शन के लिए ये हो गया, ट्रेनिंग के लिए ये हो गया, परफॉर्मेंस के लिए ये हो गया, बजट के लिए ये हो गया, राइट? Now comes target या objectives या goals for year. आप इसको जो वर्ड यूज करना चाहे यूज कर सकते हैं। किसी ने अच्छा या खराब परफॉर्म किया, उसका एक बेंचमार्क सेट करना पड़ेगा ना। ब्रह्मास्त्र इज हिट और फ्लॉप, कहां से मालूम पड़ेगा? सुने हो सनीमा के बारे में विनोद? ब्रह्मास्त्र वगैरह सुना है कुछ कि किसी और ग्रह पे हो आप? पढ़ाई में इतनी बिजी हैं कि ना अपने को इस क्लास के असाइनमेंट का ध्यान रहता है ना बाकी चीजों का। अब IAS IPS बनने के चक्कर में इन सब तुच्छ चीजों पे ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं, ऐसा है?
Sir,
हाँ जी,
the exam of this course will probably be on the first week of October.
यस।
I'm out
Either
of town sir,
second,
that
either
whole week.
second or
Okay.
but these exams are online, so in whatever town you will be, you can appear for them. ऐसा तो नहीं कि रोल नंबर लेके क्लास में जाना है, वहां सीट ढूंढनी है।
Sir, but first week में काफी busy रहेंगे तो if it will be in the second week तो बहुत helpful होता है.
Okay, okay, we will discuss on the schedule.
Okay.
Whatever is convenient to almost all of us, we can plan accordingly. Okay, so I know what is my KRA. मुझे क्या करना है मुझे पता है, कैसा होगा ये भी मुझे मालूम पड़ा, कौन कौन से पॉइंट है जिसके हिसाब से पता चलेगा। लड़की अच्छी है, शादी के लिए लड़की देखना है, so that is KRA। अभी क्या KPI हो सकते हैं उस केस में? अच्छी लड़की या अच्छा लड़का, what could be the KPIs?
अच्छा खाना बना लेती हो,
Perfect,
सिलाई कढ़ाई बुनाई,
perfect,
Educated हो,
हाँ,
एजुकेटेड हूँ
एजुकेटेड हो, ओके, और
सर, गाना बजाना आता हो।
गाना बजाना आता हो, और
So फैमिली में रिलेशनशिप्स वगैरह को मतलब मैनेज करने के लिए।
ओके, फैमिली रिलेशनशिप को मैनेज कर सके, और
सर, हाथ पैर दबाने वाली हो, सास ससुर।
सुशील हो, हाथ पैर दबाने वाला, सुशील हो, गला दबाते हाथ पैर दबाते दबाते, तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। सुशील हो, संस्कारी हो, ये सब दीज ऑल आर मेजरमेंट क्राइटेरिया, राइट, है ना? टू चूज अ ग्रूम और ब्राइड, these can be the criteria. Now, what can be the objective or target? पेपर में शादी का ऐड देखा है? क्या लिखा होता है?
Fair.
24 हाँ, fair female knows how to cook.
सर, स्किन कलर।
सॉरी,
स्किन कलर।
हाँ, fair, then
Caste.
caste, then
एज।
age, then
Height, weight.
correct. ये सब स्पेसिफिक रहता है, ये सब स्पेसिफिक है ना? 5 फुट 6 इंच के लड़के के लिए सुंदर, सुशील, XYZ कास्ट की, है ना, लड़की जिसे सिलाई कढ़ाई बुनाई खाना बनाना आता हो, अच्छे परिवार वाली हो, ये सब ऑल दीज स्पेसिफिकेशंस, राइट? So one was your objective, to choose a bride or groom, to decide on whom or who, you have certain criteria. When you go and check, you have the specifications for that criteria, है ना? इतना वजन होना चाहिए, इतनी हाइट होनी चाहिए, लड़का लंबा है लड़की छोटी है तो अच्छा नहीं है, लड़का छोटा है लड़की लंबी है तो नहीं जमेगा. So height can be proper, weight can be proper, your family can be proper, all these things, they are all specified, right? Or for the parents it is a target, or this is the objective. इस फ्रेमवर्क में सेट होगा तो ही हम लड़का या लड़की को पसंद करेंगे, है ना? बाहर खाने का शौक होना चाहिए, पिक्चर देखना आना चाहिए, बाइक चलाना आना चाहिए. This you as a bride or groom you see. Parents will see खानदान अच्छा होना चाहिए, घर वाला अच्छा होना चाहिए, ज्यादा बड़ा परिवार ना हो, the cultured people, yes or no? So that in all ways things are good. So for every level, for the same activity, the criteria are different and the targets are different, है ना? So then same thing is here in your performance appraisal also. You decided the measuring criteria. Now what can be the target? लड़का लड़की की कुंडली मिलनी चाहिए, मेजरिंग क्राइटेरिया. कितने गुण मिलने चाहिए या कौन कौन से गुण मिलने चाहिए, दैट इज टारगेट. यस और नो? मेकिंग सेंस? Okay, so now for this particular area, what could be the target that will decide how an individual will be assessed or rated, है ना? बेंचमार्क सेट करना पड़ेगा. So that benchmark will become your, किस तरह का गोल बोलते हैं उसको? हाँ, माइक ऑन करके बोलो गर्विता.
Smart goals.
Smart people will have smart goals. Okay, now that becomes your performance measures. Yeah, actionable thing that will be always assessed Okay. So what can be the SMART goal for employee turnover or attrition? As a manager or as an executive, from any point of view, you think क्या गोल हो सकता है, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव हो सकता है?
To reduce the employee turnover rate from this, like maybe for any organization it will be a specific percentage, so decreasing it from that percent to this percentage.
Okay, so I say reduce attrition rate by 50% by March 23, for example. ये दिख रहा है ना? Is it visible?
Yes.
मोबाइल में थोड़ा वैसे भी छोटा दिखेगा. Since we are working on this presentation editing mode, इसके लिए स्लाइड में शायद तो भी बड़ा दिखता है. Okay, so the target can be reduce attrition rate by 50% by March 23. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. है ना? अब जहां पे साल भर में 1% लोग ही छोड़ के जाते हो, whether to have this or not again depends on the organization situation. जहां पे साल भर में 1% लोग छोड़ के जाते हो, तो वहां हम उसको बाय 50% कम करेंगे तो आधा आदमी छोड़ के जाएगा, ऐसा होगा, है ना? So again you have to be very selective कि भाई इसको लेना चाहिए कि नहीं लेना चाहिए. बट अभी I am giving example. Okay. Next, cost per hire. क्या स्मार्ट गोल हो सकता है? अच्छा, can you reduce attrition by 50% or by any percent? Can you reduce the attrition?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
How?
Let's say if an existing employee wants to quit the organization,
Hmm.
so retaining that employee can be one of the points.
Okay.
Yes.
That is the only point. Okay. How can you retain an employee?
By seeing like what exactly is the reason of quitting the organization. I'll give you an example. In my organization, one of the employee who's still working, he's associated with the organization since last 7 years. So
Okay.
he just resigned a month back, and the reason was he was getting a good hike in other organization. So eventually we had to meet his expectations, because during COVID times we were also unable to give hike to the old employees. So that is something which we did to retain that employee. So eventually we were successful in retaining that employee.
Okay, but don't you think by doing this you encouraged all other employees to take the same step?
So he was
Or let me put it in a different way. Will you do it for every employee who is resigning?
No, we will not. It will
You'll
depend how, if that employee is an asset. So we will think about what we can do to retain that employee. If he, if we are not happy with his performance, maybe we'll try satisfying him. In case he still have a problem, then he can leave.
But then it is 1 or 2 employees among all the employees, right?
Yes.
You cannot do it for everybody. For 100% of people, you can't do that by that you'll increase the salary or whatever it is, right? Isn't it? You don't know.
No, definitely.
Correct. So if I say that I'll reduce attrition rate by 50%, which means for 50% of the employees, I'll give salary hike to retain. But that is not practically possible. You cannot offer everyone an hike, right?
Some will say that they're leaving for the purpose of growth. They're getting good
Correct,
growth in the other organization. So then training and development will come into existence.
No,
Maybe
growth means he need higher position.
No, growth as in कोई भी profile जो भी profile वो कर रहा है right now, he is not able to learn different things in that. So changing a department also can be done.
Correct.
Basically, various points can be covered as per the requirement.
Correct. But then again, what I'm saying is that 100% you cannot control the attrition. But yes, if this is one of the KPI, what you can do is you can think about programs or strategies that can reduce turnover rate. Means out of the reasons of exit why people are leaving, if certain reasons can be corrected, as you say, that employee growth can be one of the reasons, and many employees are leaving because of they see that there is no prospect. There is no prospect of growing further. मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता हूँ, मेरा प्रमोशन पॉसिबल नहीं है, मुझे कुछ नया सीखने को नहीं मिल रहा है. In that case, you can bring in a strategy called job rotation, wherein at a fixed period, you may ask employee to work in different department. Everybody will not be ready, but those who want to learn, they will get ready. Anyway, now cost per hire. What could be the goal for it? What could be a smart goal for cost per hire?
To fill a position within a specific budget.
That is one way of looking at it. Or दूसरा, how much I'm spending to hire someone. What is my recruitment cost? मतलब मैं किसी कंसल्टेंट के पास से क्लोज कराता हूँ, किसी थर्ड पार्टी को बोल के मैं आदमी लेता हूँ, मैं किसी जॉब पोर्टल पे पैसा दे के आदमी हायर करता हूँ या सर्च करता हूँ, उस आदमी को अपनी जगह बुलाने के लिए इंटरव्यू के लिए जो एक्सपेंसेस किया, उसका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का, उसका रहने का, इवन द एक्सपेंस ऑफ फोन कॉल, खैर अभी तो इट इज वेरी मिनिमल, नॉट बीइंग कंसीडर्ड, बट यस टाइम टेकन टू अरेंज द इंटरव्यू with reference to your own salary is cost per hire. So like attrition, this can also be a target of reducing cost per hire. Reduce cost per hire by whatever percent or FY23. All right. समझ में आ रहा है? पक्का? Able to relate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third क्या हो सकता है? Smart goal, turnaround time.
To fill X number of positions in X number of weeks or months.
Perfect. I'll say close 100% positions within 90 days. Yeah. Any days, whatever time you want to take it. 60 days and according to your own business processes and requirements or your own efficiency, you may decide. है ना. Hit ratio, maintain 3:1 ratio. Quality of hire, 0 reduction in interview versus confirmation rating. Yeah, 0 deviation in interview versus confirmation rating, oblique 0 negative feedback from hiring manager. Right? And last, changeover cost. Maintain 12%, 15% COC for each position. चेंज ओवर कॉस्ट का मतलब ये है कि उसका जो भी अभी करंट सीटीसी है, हमारे यहाँ का जो हायरिंग पैटर्न है वो ऐसा है कि हम जब भी किसी को हायर करते हैं तो उसको क्या पैसा मिलना चाहिए वो उसके स्किल सेट को देख के नहीं देते, उसको अभी कितना मिल रहा है और उसके ऊपर हम कितना दे सकते हैं उसके हिसाब से हम नेगोशिएट करते हैं. ठीक है. सो चेंज ओवर कॉस्ट इज अभी उसको जो पैकेज मिल रहा है उससे कितना बढ़ा के मैं दे सकता हूँ. राइट. So maintain 12 to 15% of COC for each position. Changeover cost. So that can be the smart goals for this particular KRAs, these particular KPIs. Okay. So Vanshika, now you're getting into the format part of this?
Yes, sir. A lot more clear now.
So this is KRA. This becomes the measuring criteria. This is how you have to set the smart goals. Okay. I will delete this here. And the next part of this becomes goals, rating 1, rating 2, rating 3, rating 4, and rating 5. My goal is reduce attrition by 50% by March 2023. अभी किसने अच्छा परफॉर्म किया, किसने खराब परफॉर्म किया, वो भी तो हमको पूरे प्रोसेस से निकालना पड़ेगा ना. Rating 1, I'll say not achieved. Rating 2, I'll say partially achieved. Rating 3 can be achieved. These words again are misnomer. You may use anything: good, better, bad, excellent, whatever it is. Poor, average, satisfactory, good, very good, outstanding, whatever it is. But then on the scale of 1 to 5, how will you rate it? Or what will you do? Then you are 1. What will you do? Then you are 2. What will you do? Then you are 3. What will you do? Then you will be rated 4. And what will you do? Then you will be rated 5. Achieved, I'll say overachieved. And last, I'll say excellent. Okay. Any manager, now there are 4 or 5 managers working, or there are 4 or 5 executives working for you. Each one will have the same KPI. Each one will have the same goal. है ना? क्लास के सारे बच्चों के लिए टारगेट तो एक ही है. Same timetable, same syllabus, same date of examination, same professors, same question paper. Everything is same. No changes from person to person. Only exceptions are if some student is disabled. Okay, there'll be a separate either writer or orator. है ना? But बाकी otherwise for everyone this is same. Everything is same, nothing changes, right? So same thing is in the organization also. For every employee, your KRA, KPI, objective, more or less will remain same for the same role. Yes or no? Right? Now, how will you say that someone is at number 1 or someone is excellent? That again, you can define the way it is suitable to your organization, yeah, business context. Reduce attrition rate by 50% by March 23. If anybody is doing this, his rating or her rating can be 3, or he or she can be put in achieved criteria. ये टारगेट था, ये मिल गया. Okay, तो जितना बोला था उतना कर दिया. You are good. So your overall rating from on the scale of 1 to 5, this will be 3. Now, how will you differentiate between 3, 4, and 5? So I'll say that if the attrition has been reduced by 60%, more than what was expected, it is overachieved. If you say that it has been reduced by more than 60%, then person is excellent. है ना? 50% अचीव करना था, कर लिया, okay, ठीक, good, satisfactory. 50% करना था, 60% कर दिया, overachieved, very good. 50% करना था, 70% तक लेके गए, with the same resources, same processes, or with minute changes, the rating becomes excellent. %50 करना था, 50% से कम किया, you are underachieved. 50% करना था, 40% या उससे भी कम किया, so it is not achieved. है ना? It is same like your own grading system. If you achieve 75%, you get distinction. If you achieve more than 60%, you get first class. If you get more than 50%, you get second class. If you get more than 35%, you get third class. And if it is below 35%, it is 0. Fail. So same way, 5-point rating scale. These numbers, percentage, this all depends on your own business processes, business complications, complexity of the operations, demography, है ना? Quality of people, everything, skill sets. So accordingly, you will set your own SMART goals. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So is it clear, Vanshika, now about the format?
Yes, sir. It is.
I'll share another screen that will have a comprehensive Is this Excel visible?
Yes, sir.
दिख रहा है
Now
ना?
it is.
Right? So if you see the first part, is KRA. Okay. Again, as you grow, your formats more or less go, certain things changes. So this becomes the key performance areas, key areas. How much importance this particular area KRA has in your overall performance assessment? Practical के कम mark, theory के ज़्यादा mark, paper 1, paper 2 ऐसा होता है ना? That is weightage. What is the definition? What do you mean by this? It is again your KPI, and this is how it is measured. तो 5 दिन से कम है तो rating 1, less than 80%. है ना? 3 is 100%. 125% achieve किया तो 4, 150% achieve किया तो 5. Okay. I'll share this Excel. I'll share the entire all this PPT slides as well, whatever we discussed today. But then there are two things. One, you will complete this whatever is left in this particular slide. Okay. So what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to mention the KPIs or target for executive HR, and then the detailing on ratings. You can use this Excel format which I'm showing as of now, or any other similar format that you have or you can explore, right? Whether it is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, any medium, any mode. Even if you're writing in the notes book, make it legible, take a photograph, put it on a slide, and then we will discuss in the next class. Right? और कुछ पूछना है? You have any questions? नहीं, इतना समझाया नीरज सर ने फिर भी नहीं. So no worries. I'll put it on the group right away. अपूर्वा कौन से गांव गई है?
No idea, sir.
Okay. So get idea है बोलते हो. So I'll share a couple of inputs to you. I'll share the format that I have discussed. Okay, the same Excel sheet. I'll share few more KPIs also. I'd already shared some one ebook recently on the group on the similar topic. Okay. So if you want to get the additional value add, use these documents. It will help you to understand the concept and topic. अगर concept याद रहेगा ना तो अभी नहीं तो 6 महीने बाद भी whenever you will apply, you will be able to speak. Because as a fresher, everybody understands that you may not have a practical implemented knowledge, but how clear you are in your concepts, that will decide your future and career. So anything which is not understood, you may ask.
Sir, what book can be referred for labor laws? Okay.
Sorry?
Is there any book, a good book for labor laws?
For labor law, I think P.L. Malik is one author.
P.L.
Then there
Malik.
is- हाँ,
Okay.
है ना? And I'll also share other books on the group.
Okay.
So that it will help you. Just a second. I'll put it on the group. I have few. I will share. I'll share on the group. And as far as labor laws are concerned, you can always get more insight from this ILO's website also, International Organization for Laborers. Okay, from there also you can get the latest updates on the labor laws. I'll also share some input on recent labor codes, the 4 codes, which is in discussion and will be implemented. Labor codes and other references, books references as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anything else? Nothing. Okay. So that's all from my side as well. This assignment has to be completed. We will discuss in the next class. Even if someone is able to complete it in between, put it on the group. Okay, so that others can also get benefited, but no copy. ग्रुप में डाला तो वो रेफरेंस के लिए है, उसके बाद आप जो भी लिखेंगे वो उस रेफरेंस को बेस करके लिखना है. So articulation should be your own. It cannot be copy paste. तृप्ति ने लिखा, उसने ग्रुप पे डाल दिया, तो वंशिका ने वही का वही उठा कॉपी कर दिया, खाली अपना नाम डाल दिया. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So use those documents as a reference, but then develop your own. Right? चलो, so have a happy Sunday. Enjoy your day. जो आधा बचा है वो.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.